guys, what's going on? It's J5 from Short Circuit, and I'm super happy to say that Short Circuit just made level 7. So awesome news, Clan Perk 7, new adventure ahead of us, 5200, that's the next goal. So I'd like to thank all the current members, all the past members, anyone who helped us get some of this Clan XP, thank you. Now, a little bit more bummed out, we got level 7 after 2 losses. So we put together a good streak here, 5 in a row, including that really tight one there, 24-24 against Swaggy Fi. But we just had a loss, 27-28 against the Vietnamese level 4 clan, TH8. I'm sure I said that totally wrong, but anyways, these guys, they were a great group, good warriors. They had us a little bit outmatched even, and I'll show you why right here. The disappointing thing is I think we could have got 30 out of 30 stars, and I'll explain why. And maybe we can in the future, we will when these situations arise. So one thing I'd like to discuss here is I think we're going to discuss, when we have chances of sitting people out and making war matchups, we're going to start taking into consideration some terms I want to talk about now. We'll call it boot, and we'll call it salt. So what a boot Town Hall 7 would be is someone who maxed out their Town Hall 6, walls, everything. They just turned Town Hall 7. They don't even have dragons yet. So that's a boot Town Hall 7. Same thing with Town Hall 8. If you just turn Town Hall 8, you're a boot. You don't have those Hogs 4 yet. You don't have that Dragon 3. Your spells aren't upgraded. So you're not able yet to destroy any Town Hall of your level. So in this war, we had Phase Ghost, Captain Barch, and Evil Soul. If we look at them, they're all salt. Level 4 Hogs, level 3 Dragons. You go to Captain Barch, I think he's got everything but his P.E.K.K.A.s. You go over here to Phase Ghost, same thing. He's got everything but his Golems and Valks, it looks like. So these are our guys that we can count on. These 6 attacks here are our guys that we can count on to destroy any level Town Hall 8. Now, we're going to admit that sometimes, some bases are really tricky, and it might take 2 attacks to figure it out. But the main reason I really think we shouldn't have been able to leave any stars on the table is if we look at these bases here of the enemy, they had 3 fully maxed out bases, Town Hall 8. So here we go, fully maxed out. Number 2, fully maxed out. Number 3, fully maxed out. Number 4, pretty much. Number 5, fully maxed out. But wait, what's this? Number 5, 1, 2, and 3 look pretty much the same. So let's look over here. Yep, there you go. So all the walls set up is exactly identical, and all of the cannons are in one half of the base. Look at this. All the cannons here on the number 1, and then number 2, all the cannons here. But the walls are the same. There's a couple things in the middle moved around a little bit. So, in my opinion, you never want to be in a clan that has 4 bases, including their top 3 being identical, because once we figure out how to 3-star one, we're going to have the blueprint. So, like I said, you go first attack, you don't get 3-star, that's okay. You're gonna get some double giant bombs. You're gonna figure out the flavor of the base. So let's go look at the first attack on this design. There's 4 of them, remember? So the first one was our new member, maxed out Town Hall 8 versus maxed out Town Hall 8. Phase Ghost right here. He came in. He decided to do a GoHo. So with the GoHo, you're going to want to activate the troops, and which he does well. He only uses 1 troop. That's only going to be a trade-off of 5 to get the troops out. That's perfect. And this is a dragon again, and this is key because we noticed that they had a level 4 dragon in pretty much all of their CCs. Now I'm going to guess that FaZe decided to go with his rock, his golem, from over here at 9 o'clock because of that's where the BK was. Now BK, he is a pain. He will chase your hogs around. It is probably a good idea often to go in that way against on your GoHo. But I think after watching his attack, you'll see we really, you know, studied this layout, and we figured out a few weaknesses. So what we'll do is we'll go check out the second attack on the setups after this, and that was Captain Barch's my attack on number 2. And I'll explain how I decided to plan out my attack, what made me decide to do what I did, and also what I did wrong. But it was a 3-star, so at that point, well, I felt that I had the blueprint, and we still had 2 of Evil's attacks and 1 of Phase's attacks. So amongst the 3 of us, you know, in theory, we could have got all these bases because there's only 4 of them, right? So let's speed this up here. I think we're on like the desperation cleanup part here. This didn't work out. Yeah, this last little archer here, commando. Let's kill that dark barracks. Okay. So, like I said, after I saw that, I had an idea. The double giant bomb, if anything, was going to be in the center. There's going to be another double giant bomb possible to pop, you know, in one of these outside boxes. I didn't know which. So I really just had to decide what's the best angle of attack, because I decided that I still wanted to GoHo here because it wasn't you know, an easy full hog, and I think there's a lot of reasons that the GoHo is better than the full hog, and we'll talk about that. So, but first, how to decide my angle of attack. Well, if you heard me earlier, I noticed that I told you that all these bases here had all their cannons, pretty much at least 4 or 5 of them, if not all 5 of them, on one half of the base. And they're really tight on the right. So you see the right of the base is tight right here, and the left's a little bit looser. So what I'm thinking here is that I need to find a spot with the maximum amount, like a ridiculous amount of defensive structures targeting my golem. So I thought if I could get my golem against the wall right here in this corner by the camp, going in at this archer tower right here, well, then it would be in range of this mortar, this mortar, this cannon, and this archer tower, and if there's a Tesla, possibly right here soon. So right there, that's 5 defensive structures, and if you look, all I need to do is wall breaker into that compartment. That's, you know, it wouldn't be magic, but if I could just do that or wall breaker into one of these, I'd start occupying one of these wizard towers and its cannon beside it. So what I decided is that, look at this dream spot. You know, let's say magically, I knew this wasn't going to happen, but here's my magic spot. I'm happy there. But if I can get in here somehow, you know, not breaking this, not going to the core, but just up against it, then I would have that cannon, that mortar. I'd basically have half this guy's defenses on my golem that has 5,000 HP. Now that's more than 12 of my hogs. So for 6 hog spaces, 30 spaces for the golem, I'm getting 5,000 HP. So half of this base, I don't need to put a heal anywhere here. The whole right side of the base is too dense to have any giant bombs, and none of these structures, or hardly any of them, should be shooting at my hogs while they're getting killed. Once that's figured out, and you look at the other half here, well, you know what? I could cover the whole base with three heals. And if I can just take out, let's say, this air defense first, or, you know, some of these, there's probably no chance I go over a double in the center here. So, first thing, most important, crucial things, I had to kill the troops. It was a little bit late at night for this number 2. I couldn't get 2 witches and a barbarian, but I also pretty much knew he had a dragon, so I didn't want that. You know, my strategy with the dragon is I'm going to activate him. I'm going to take him out here to the right, so that my leftover, you know, whatever kills the dragon is going to help with the actual attack. And then I'm going to drop my golem. As the dragon breeds on the golem, I'm just going to drop some of my wizards right beside him. Let's look at my my setup I used here. So I decided to bring 25 hogs, 8 wizards, 4 wall breakers, 5 archers, 1 golem, and in my CC, like I said, you know, it's late at night and I needed to get an attack done, and I just wanted to test this out, so I needed 5, I took 5 max hogs. So let's start the attack. Now I decided to activate. I can't remember. One thing you'll notice is this attack lasted exactly 3 minutes. It was a 0-second 3-star attack. There we go. So I triggered over here with 2 hogs. Now I got really lucky. If you look, I activated both skellies. So now for 2 hogs, 10 spaces, I've popped both the skeleton traps and a CC. So like I said earlier, then I wasted a bunch of time. So some of the mistakes I made during this attack, the only reason I made them, they were deployment mistakes because I was just so nervous. I really wanted this to work. I'd spent a long time, you know, trying to imagine and calculate and visualize how everything would work. So, you know, pardon me, I'm actually not a very good player. So, but this worked out anyway. So I started juggling my little pile here. My goal is to get one little pile. Watch, here comes the first mistake. When I drop my poison spell, I'm going to have no more archers to move these guys around. And I don't get the dragon, and I don't think I noticed. So there's the dragon right there, not getting poisoned. So wonderful, good work there. First mistake. So then I dropped the golem, like I said I would. Couple wizards for the dragon. And now I want to talk about funneling and cutting. It's really important because I don't want my only HP that's tanking for these hogs to be my golem. I'm also going to use my barbarian king. But I don't want him going around the outside in a way I haven't decided. I'm actually going to want him to come up pretty close to in here with the golem. So to accomplish that, I'm going to cut these structures. So what I mean by that is as soon as this dragon goes, we're going to have all these wizards here. They're going to take out this dark barracks. Nothing can stop them. There's nothing in range there. And then they're going to take out the spell fact. And then if you look, I started right here, right at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I started dropping some wizards on this mine right here. There you go, 2 wizards. And their only job is to cut that mine out of the way. Now I timed the mortar and I started releasing my 4 wall breakers in 2 pulses of 2. So if we look now, we've got both of these mortars, both of these cannons, this archer tower, everything's focused right on this golem. I'm chasing this dragon, but that's because of my mistake with the poison. I've got my mine at the bottom already cut. Now the dragon's dead. You see, I cut spell factory, and there you go. I almost messed up, but now my barbarian king goes inside, and he's going to get this wizard tower up here to focus on him. Now, really quickly, without hesitating, because look, I'm almost out of my 5,000 HP here on that golem. I'm about to turn to golemite mode. Well, now is the time where I start deploying my hogs, but I start deploying them surgically. So the first ones came in this way, and then the next ones came in from here, another little group, and another little group here. The reason for that is because look, now that these hogs here, the first little 2 or 3, they're on this archer tower. What that's done is that now I've focused this mortar, this cannon, and soon this wizard tower, but just on a few of them. All the rest of these, like the mortar, he's going to get killed without ever having a chance. We're going to zoom back out and we'll see. I just kept deploying my hogs around like that. There we go. So for this archer tower. So if you look, these 2 hogs here by this camp on the left, they're going to kill this archer tower. And they're going to take 0 damage. And the reason for that is because they're focused on the last group here. And this last group's not going to take that much damage from this wizard tower because it's focused here. But all 4 of these are going to kill this wizard tower. So that's one of the advantages to surgical GoHo. Now you're going to see my second mistake. I did not use the Iron Fist on the Barbarian King. Oh my goodness. So here we go. We finally released the Max Hogs up here. Now if we pause for a second, you're going to see that we still have BK here. He still has 3 of these structures for sure. These 3 right here, the 2 cannons and the wizard tower. And if I would have hit his Iron Fist, I probably would have opened this wall to get my golemites in here. Oh my goodness, I could have probably got this archer tower to focus on the golemites, but that was my mistake. I was really nervous again. So, but just to show you, first heal, I had all my heals pre-picked because I only needed to half the base, the core and a little bit of the left here. So let's have a look as I lay down these heels. Boom. Giant bombs are going off, but it doesn't matter because there you go, there's the second one. Doesn't matter. I still have this golem alive, golemite alive here on the right. Unfortunately, I didn't keep my king alive, but now look, it's a wrap. We're going to get his king, and now we're on to the cleanup phase. The only problem is I almost ran out of time. Seriously, guys, it seriously took me all that time, and I ended up with 3 stars, 0 seconds left on the timer. Let's speed this up here. So there you go. So good attack. Got the 3 stars. So I needed to improve it because there's no way getting in that tight is okay. So in the morning when I woke up, I was like, let's just throw another one down. Since one was already 1 star and I went to number 3, same base. If you look at the war win bonus, you'll see all 3 of them are fully maxed out Town Hall 8s. And decided to do it again, but I needed to improve. So since I had all night to get my CC troops and I knew I could get 2 witches by then, I put in a request for 2 witches and 1 max barbarian. And I decided that what I was going to do for 1 is I was going to poison the dragon. 2, so that way he's going to die a lot faster. I wasn't going to waste a minute of my raid with that part. And 2, I was going to make a sandwich. So same thing again, we're going to get the golem right here in from 3 o'clock. Get all these cannons focused on them. We're going to cut the barrack and the collector. We're going to cut the mine and hopefully this collector here. Going to send in the king right after. And differently, we're going to make a sandwich though. My goal was to have golem and king in the middle tanking. Behind them, we're going to have 2 max witches just steady releasing skellies over here towards 12 o'clock, so they're also going to be tanking. And then we're going to keep our 3 heals again. We're going to pre-plan. We're going to place 1 here where there could be giant bomb. We're going to place another one here where there could be giant bomb and a BK. We're going to place another one here where there could be giant bomb. So we've already planned ahead of time. We kind of imagined, okay, where are we going to place our heals? When are we going to place our heals? Which hogs are we releasing in which order? So we've all kind of decided that based on yesterday's attack. And the goal was to have a lot of troops left over on the kill. And the goal was also to have a lot of time. So we ended up getting 27 seconds left over. And we also ended up with 4 of these wizards left alive. Both my witches, a ton of hogs, you'll see. So this time I chose to come in here from 1 o'clock, 1:30. And I decided to use more for the draw, 3 hogs. But the reason for that is because I figured it was a good trade for this mortar right here, which kind of would have stopped me later from pathing over here. But I was going to break that with my BK or king. But here we go, 3 hogs. That activates the CC. It also, like I said, kind of a sacrifice trades for this mortar. So that's not would normally be a good trade, but since it's part of getting the CC out, you know what? It's part of business. I think it's a great job. We're going to bring in our crew over here. Use a couple archers, make sure they're all in one pile. And then boom, this time we poisoned even the dragon. So that's going to see, you'll see how fast this dragon goes down when he's poisoned here. It is fast. Watch this. We dropped the golem. Couple, and mind you, that's just the level 2 poison. So look, the wizards, and watch this dragon is done. See you later. Now we're going to calculate these wizards to cut this side. Those wizards to cut the other side. We're going to wait for that to happen. As soon as that happens, we can drop in His Highness, the BK. So here we go. Here comes His Highness, the BK, now that we've cut this. Actually, oh, sorry, first, there you go. Now that I got all these structures, cannon, there's no more mortar over here. I got this cannon. I'm going to send in, towards 1 o'clock, I'm going to send in these witches. So I took the max barb as a meat shield, make sure they don't get hurt while they ramp up their skeleton production. And you'll see here what, I'm going to drop the BK. He has nowhere else to go, because we've cut all these side structures. He's going to go straight into the business. And now's the time to release the hogs. So here we go. Not the best wall breaker usage because I so close together my two pulses I only open here, but you know what, we'll take it because now my BK is going to go in there. And here come the hogs once again. From first I start over here at around 430 for the mortar, and I start putting them in for the archer, and I just surgically did the same thing. It's the same base, right? So if it worked yesterday and then got better CC troops and a better plan and execution, well, it should only work better today. So here we go, first heel right here. So where those skellies are hitting me, I'm in the heel. Second heel right here, where the BK is going to be hitting my boys. As we move across those heels, I'm going to pop some giant bombs again. We don't care. Oh, look at that. We popped one with the golem and the BK. That's perfect. And then the third heel as we move across. There we go. Happy hogs. And this time we're going to remember to use the BK's Iron Fist power. I think we used it just on the cleanup because he didn't really get hurt that bad. So if you look at this base is rolled. We've got both witches still alive. They're still cleaning up. That means we got 16 skellies on the field. We've got 4 of our wizards, I think, still alive. We've got our BK. Here he is, Iron Fisting. And let's try to count how many hogs we have. I don't even know. Of the initial 25, I bet you we've got easily, I can't tell. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, it's tough to see. 1, 2. I'd say at least 10, 8 or 10. So when you're finishing an attack with your BK this full of health, you got half your wizards left. You've got over half or just under half your hogs. You got both your witches. You still got some golemites, I think. Are the golemites all dead now that they finally kicked the can at the end? Oh, they might not have made it. Who cares? That's their job is dying, right? Well, there you go, guys. So I think at this point, we had the blueprint. We had, 3 more max Town Hall 8 attacks, and only 2 more of these bases to knock off. So I think GoHo at Town Hall 8 is viable. I think it should be added to our repertoire. And encourage everyone to learn it. Let's talk about clan chat, whatever it takes here, guys. So great war anyways. We lost, but we're level 7. I don't think we're going to lose many more now that paying attention. But really, we should have got all these stars. All they were Town Hall 8s. That's usually what we do. We usually never leave any Town Hall 8 stars out there. So there you go, putting it all out there. I hope these videos help you guys out, clanmates. Give me a comment or maybe like just to encourage me. I'll keep making them. I actually think a little later I'm going to make a part 2 video about this base here, NINH 2015. This base should not still be 2-starred. I had the recipe, so we'll look at that in part 2 if it ever happens, which probably will. Alright guys, well, have a good one, and J5 from Short Circuit again. War!